Hello, this is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharpe. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. Put your questions in the comments now so that I can answer your questions. I'm just going to focus on your questions today. So make sure you go ahead, put your questions in the comments now so that I can answer your questions. Let's see. It's nice to see you. Happy Friday. Hello there in Columbus, Ohio. It's nice to see you. Thanks for joining. All right, put those. Let's see. Can anybody else hear me? I see one person saying they're not hearing. All right. Did I need to visit your office to be able to get to work with my so I'm sorry, I don't understand what this question is. So you don't have to come into our office. You can just give us a call and we can get to work. We work with our clients all over the world. None of our clients have to come into the office. So you can work with us, but first we have to know whether you qualify for assistance, and that requires a consultation. What's your location? We have two offices, so one in Boca, one here in Delray Beach. That's where I am right now. And then now keep in mind that even though we have in Delray, Boca, we represent clients all over the country and the world. This is our base, but we represent clients all over. So no matter where you are, we can assist you. Have you a representative in yes, absolutely. I represent clients in Maryland. It's one of my favorite places to be. I actually attended my client's interview in Baltimore. Loved Baltimore. So, yes, absolutely. I represent clients in Maryland, and that does include so we've been to Baltimore with our client, and I have multiple clients there. Good morning. Why immigration asks for police clearance after biometrics in the VAWA case? They always require you to have the police clearance. It's a requirement. If you don't, because it's a showing of your good moral character, if it's clear, so you want to make sure you include it when you're applying for your VAWA. So yes, they do their own background check, but it's still required that you submit the your own police clearance letter. We help our clients. We fulfill that requirement through the FBI background check, which we do for our clients. All right, put the questions in the comments now so that I can answer your questions. That's what I'm here to do. Good morning. Good morning there, Landa. Thank you for being here to help people in need get a better understanding of how to go forward with their immigration needs. Absolutely. It's my pleasure. I'm a Jamaican, came on a visa, work. How can I adjust my status? So coming on a work visa alone isn't gonna help you to adjust status. So say you came on a work visa, the employer wants to sponsor you, that could be one way. Family member wants to petition for you, that could be one way. And then in the cases where we've helped our clients, is we look at whether they qualify for other types of options. alternative options through humanitarian relief. Put the questions in the comments. So I'm on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. Please put your questions in the comments and I'll answer. I'm keeping an eye on all the platforms. So put those questions in and I'll scroll through and answer. What if they sent back for additional documents, for example, bank account pictures? What does that mean? So it could very well mean, so in that case, it means that they don't feel like they have enough evidence to approve it without additional documents to show that you have a bona fide marriage. If you can meet their requirement and respond with the documents that they're requesting, it means that they could very well waive the green card interview and send you the green card in the mail. Thanks so much, Donna. I appreciate that. I'm on early. Yes, I am on early. Yes, because today is going to be a very busy day. So rather than missing the day, I wanted to make sure I came on a little early so I could, connect with you all. And I want to try to keep it Mondays through Fridays. So I'm trying. I'm a Jamaican, came on a visitor's visa and overstayed. Can you help? I have helped my clients. I continue to help my clients who end up overstaying the visa. Whether I can help you, though, is going to depend on your qualifications. I need to understand your facts and then be able to tell you what you qualify for. That's where the consultation is very important. Go to the link in the profile right now, schedule, because I'm getting booked out. Attorney Bria is getting booked out. So we want to make sure that we can help you. Now, keep in mind that there are good things coming down the pipeline in immigration. So, for example, I saw news. This happened about a week ago where they have clarified certain requirements for children who derive citizenship from their parents, which is amazing because some of it was not clear before, some of it was too restrictive. So that is one of the topics that I'm going to go over with you because there are a lot of people out there who are US citizens, a lot of children who can get their citizenship and you don't know it. So I'm going to talk more about that as well, probably next week. I'm in Connecticut. Can you work on my case? Absolutely. Yes, we represent clients in Connecticut. So we have had no issues. We're very good at working with our clients all over the world who qualifies for parole in place. So if you are the spouse of a US citizen, and you came into the country without permission or uninspected, and you've been here for the last 10 years up to June 17, 2024. So anytime before June 17, 2024, you continuously resided in the US, then this parole in place is going to be for you. And then in addition to that, children and stepchildren of the immigrant and the stepchild of the spouse, the citizen spouse, can also qualify as long as they show that they were residing in the US on June 17, 2024. So this can be granted to spouses who have more complex situations, like they're going through deportation, they were ordered deported. It can still apply to you here. Criminal issues, they have said that they are going to look at whether the criminal offense renders the person a threat to public safety or national security. And so that, while they haven't clarified in detail yet, um, that lets me know that they're willing to forgive any offense or not hold certain offenses against you. So, for example, if maybe there's a shoplifting offense on your record, that may not stop you from still getting the parole in place, versus if it's a type of offense where someone was harmed or there was a victim, then that would be more questionable and could increase the likelihood of denial there. will I get you, if I schedule, you have the choice. So you can call and talk to staff. They can help you to make that decision. We are experienced, no matter if you get Attorney Bria, if you get me, we are very experienced in our work, or Attorney Bria is as well, works closely with me to make sure that we're helping you, and we're advising on how you can qualify. I have a consultation with you August 12th. So when my calendar, when it's booked out, unless there's a cancellation, we would not be able to do any earlier dates unless you book with Attorney Bria. But I know Attorney Bria's schedule is filling up as well. Um, can you explain T status, please? So here it's very extensive, the way that one can qualify, because it's the situation. So it is for victims of trafficking. But keep in mind, it is extensive and very broad, because victim trafficking comes in different forms. So we have gotten relief for our clients when they have been mistreated and ultimately trafficked by intimate partners, by their own spouses, by friends, by family, by landlords, by employers. Uh, it depends on the circumstances. But what I would say here, the first thing for your purposes to understand whether you need further legal advice is, if you have been in a situation where you felt like, based on their actions, whoever this is, they trapped you in a situation and then kind of forced you into this, I wouldn't even say kind of, forced you into a situation where you had to work for them. You had to clean their house. You had to do chores. You didn't sign up for that, but somehow you found yourself doing this based on their actions, based on maybe they did certain tactics to convince you to overstay. They falsely promised you that they would get your papers or help you get your papers. And then all of a sudden you find yourself in the situation where you're working for them, or you're doing acts that you did not volunteer to do, but you feel you have to do. That can be a form of trafficking. And that's where you need to reach out to us for us to assist you with this. Now, the T status, once approved, you get your 4-year stay, you get your 4-year work permit, and you're able to get your path. After approval, you're able to start working towards applying for the green card. So it's a whole package. I'm a Jamaican, overstay my visa, but now my cousin wants me out at first. They told me they can help me to get green card. This is a situation, an example of a situation that I'm talking about, where we've been able to help our clients. But this is where you need to call and talk to us. We need to get very specific facts. This is where we need to get in detail with you in the consultation to make sure that this is the right path for you. If you're working on H-2B visa and get married to a US citizen, what would be filing for adjustment of status? So you would file, as long as you qualify, you're going to file I-130, I-485, I-864 affidavit of support, work permit application, travel document application. Along with the I-130, you have to make sure all the forms are included, like the I-130A. So those would be the forms that you would have to use. But keep in mind, applying for this is not about filling out forms. And I think this is where a lot of people get immigration law twisted. And that's where a lot of people get into trouble. Immigration law, next to tax law, which I practice in both areas, is the most complex form of law, right? There's so much, the regulations, case law, statutes, that you have to take into consideration, plus the policy considerations of the USCIS and the Department of State. So behind every question on the form is some form of legal implication that you need to consider. And a lot of people fill these forms out without considering the legal implications of these questions. And in addition to that, they fill out the forms and pay less attention to the evidence that you have to submit. And the evidence is what's going to be essential here in the success of the adjustment of status process. So make sure you fully understand what you're getting yourself into. Make sure you're prepared. Hope you're doing fine. If someone is awaiting a waiver of I-751 to approve, is there any implication if you move to another state? Just change your address. Make sure you always update your address. It's the AR-11 form. Do you work on DWI cases if the person has a, no, we don't do, driving under we don't do those kind of cases. That's more on the criminal law side. I'm a Jamaican, overstay my visa. What can I do to apply for the work permit? Get a consultation with us. Let's figure out if you qualify for a wait. Approval decision rendered on I-765, that's a work permit. What does that mean? It means you're getting the work permit in the mail soon, probably in the next week or two, plus you'll probably see the social security number. I have 48 months extension. Can I apply for my citizenship? So if you're applying for the I-751, that's the from the 2-year to the 10-year, and the time has passed, say you're still married to your US citizen spouse, and 3 years has passed, yes, you can apply for citizenship. And what they'll do is sometimes they'll call you in for the interview and then evaluate you for both the I-751, that's the 2-year to the 10-year. And once they approve you on the spot, they jump straight into citizenship. You could walk out of there possibly a citizen, because I've attended citizenship interviews with my clients, and after they say, good news, you've passed the citizenship test, they say, stand up, take your oath, which did not happen before, certainly did not happen during the Trump administration. So it's really it's a big, because they don't tell you that. They don't tell you they're going to swear you in on the spot, so they make that decision based on maybe if they feel like you need time to be sworn in, versus if they feel like they can do it right now, the officer right there in the office will swear you in. So this is happening in some cases, and it has happened with multiple of my clients. My priority date is July 19, 2019 for unmarried children over 21 to an LPR. Would there be a difference when my mom become a citizen? Would my case move? When your mom becomes a citizen, you have to look at the chart again, and you have to look at the F1 category and go by that date, because they're going to change you to that date. How long takes for a visa? It depends on what kind of visa. I qualify for T visa after consultation, but cannot. Is there any alternative? So this is where you need to call the office and talk to us individually. I'm not sure if you already mentioned, but what's the cost of your consultation? $150. I was approved for I-601A in 2011. I did not follow up, and it got terminated. Does this mean my approved I-130 is also terminated? I'm here since 2002, married to a US citizen, 2 boys born. So here's what, Karen on YouTube, here's what you need to do. Do a consultation with us. We want to understand your situation, because here, you may not need to do the I-601A again. You can probably go through your US citizen spouse in the parole in place process. So this may be a game changer for you. So schedule an appointment, let's talk, and hit the ground running. Why immigration? So I answered that. All right. And let's go to TikTok. 42B, no hardship, US citizen toddler, legal entry, 10 years, no hardship. How long would deportation be? 10 years. So I'd have to figure out what your facts are to be able to, because it sounds, I don't know if you're saying you've already submitted the 42B, which is for cancellation of removal. So we'd have to talk. If I was transiting the US with a C1D from a vessel, I will be able to adjust status through marriage. No, no, no. Um, I'm glad you brought this up. C1D is crewman's visa, and that's one of the visas that if you end up overstaying, you will not be allowed to do an adjustment of status. Now, if you ended up being mistreated by a spouse here, you overstayed, they will allow you to do the VAWA, but otherwise, it does not allow you to do adjustment of status. So you have to be very careful. I was transiting, so let's see. How long after I've been in the US can I apply for asylum? Make sure you apply within a year of your entry, otherwise, you may be denied asylum if you miss that deadline. How long does it take to approve I-130? About 9 to 12 months, usually. My wife receives government benefits like Medicare and others. Can it affect my application if your spouse is a U.S. citizen and they qualify for the benefits? No, but they are going to look at her income for the affidavit of support. So you'll still want to make sure you're on top of that. I'm a U.S. citizen, married someone with a tourist visa in Mexico, and do I have to wait to apply him for residency? So if your spouse is here in the US, you can do adjustment of status. Um, you should not wait. You don't have to wait. No, there's nothing that says you have to wait to apply for your spouse. Once you're married, you can apply the day after you're married. But keep in mind that you just want to submit a good, solid, thorough application. And that's what may take a little time to prepare right after you're married. My son just got his 2-year green card. Mine hasn't approved yet. How long do you think before mine is approved? It just depends on a lot of factors. I already submit my case, but it's pending 3 months after the interview. The interview was not good. So it really is a wait and see at this point, because if it wasn't good, they're probably reviewing your case file and pushing it through multiple layers of review. I don't know what happened at the interview, but yeah, 3 months is a long time to wait after the interview. It usually is an indication that they're doing some extra checks. My dad just got his US citizenship and I'm an F1 student. Can I apply for a change of status? If you're under 21, then yes, go for it, because it means that you are the immediate relative of a US citizen and your father can apply for you. If you are over 21 or over, is your US citizen parent can certainly file for you, but keep in mind it's a 5 to 7 year process. How long does it take to bring a spouse to the US with you being a US citizen? So I'd say about 2 years. If you live in the US and you get married, how long does it take to apply for the green card? You can apply right away with the right documentation. There's nothing that says you have to wait. If you live in the US and you get married, how long does it take to apply? So we answered that. My fiance is 3 months late to schedule his interview because I missed the email. Is it too late? So I'm thinking this might be a fiance visa at the embassy. So you need to get in touch with them ASAP to reschedule that appointment. How can I apply for I-10 with my German passport? So I-10, because you said this was, so I'm not sure if you're talking about the I-10 number. I'm not sure. Um, Married to permanent resident, February 2024. How long you have to wait for your approval? So I would say about for the I-130 petition, about 9 months. For the consular process, if they didn't, because you have to wait for, I mean, it's more complex, which I am releasing a video about the process when you're a spouse of a permanent resident, I believe at 12 o'clock. So it should be posted right now on YouTube. I go step by step through the process of being the spouse of a permanent resident and the steps that you have to take when you're looking at adjustment of status. So you can watch that video, but the length of time is going to depend on if you are just now applying for the petition for your spouse. Then I would estimate about a 2 year process. And keep in mind that your spouse has to maintain their status to be able to apply for adjustment of status. When I'm doing VAWA, can I still do the new Biden immigration law? So I mentioned this previously. I mean, really and truly, it's either VAWA or parole in place. The reason being, VAWA does the same thing, if not better than parole in place. It does the same exact thing. So with VAWA, it allows you to get your certain protections. It allows you to get your work permit, your social security number, while you wait for approval of the VAWA. And then it allows you to automatically get your green card after the VAWA petition is approved. All the while, you have the same protections, benefits as a parole in place, except VAWA runs on auto, right? Parole doesn't run on auto. So with parole, you have to first apply for parole in place, then apply for the work permit, then apply for adjustment of status. With VAWA, you apply at the very beginning for everything that you want: work permit, travel document, green card. And then as the process goes along, you get these things. So it would be a duplicative to apply for VAWA and parole in place. And then, as I said before, it might be a contradiction, because if you're applying for VAWA based on mistreatment by a U.S. citizen spouse, and then you're applying with showing, all this evidence that you are in a marriage with a U.S. citizen, it may seem like all is well in the parole in place process, contradicting the VAWA process. So while the parole in place does not ask you to show your marriage is in a good place, um, you know, eh, presenting evidence for parole in place versus the VAWA, it just may not jive. It may not, um, there just may be a contradiction. And why VAWA is much better. It gets you to where you need to go in less than 2.5 years, 2.5 to 3 years, right? And you get the same protections. How long does it take for my mom to file for me? It depends on your category. All right, so I have to head out. I'm gonna see. Answer. Let me see if I see one more question. Um, if I'm on H-2B visa work program, how can I go about getting my stay apart from marriage? It depends on your qualifications through an employer, through other family members, through humanitarian means. Um, Oh, we're getting a lot of questions here. Hi there, Caroline. I didn't hear that answer. Can I file for child with a 48-month extension? Yes, as a green card holder, you can file for your child as well. I sent my T visa package 2 months ago. No biometrics yet. How long to get the biometrics? I said 2 to 3 months after filing. Thanks everyone for your time. It's really a pleasure. I love the questions that come in. I will be back on Monday to touch base with you, answer more questions. So please save your questions for Monday. In the meantime, have a good weekend. And remember, go ahead, schedule your appointments. Make sure you save your time so that we can help you, because that's the main goal here. But we have to depend on you to reach out for that assistance. All right. Hi there, Anna Gay. Nice to see you. Have a good weekend. Bye bye, everyone.